Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch my videos. If you're watching this on Facebook or on the YouTube channels, welcome. If you're here for the first time, thank you for coming. If you're a frequent watcher, thanks for coming back again and tolerating another review. I'm bringing to your attention two nonfiction books today, sort of autobiographical, if you want to call it, biographical, whatever. One's interesting and one's out there. But anyways, the first one is Under Construction, Because Living My Best Life Took a Little Work by CHRISHELL STAUSE. This is published by Gallery Books and it retails for $38. I'm not aware of her Netflix TV show Selling Sunset, but I am familiar with her on Days of Our Lives. She played the psycho sister Jordan, who is a sister to serial killer Ben Weston. And she played her part well. She was sort of a psycho too, but she's definitely not a psycho. At least she doesn't look like a psycho. She talks about her life here. It's a very interesting life. She was one of 5 sisters. And earlier in life, the whole family was really poverty-stricken. She watched her house burn down. The family had to basically live in tents for quite some time. When she was younger, she was bullied. She was sort of a gawky teenager, and she certainly has changed. But she's gone through her share of hardships. And in the book, she talks very honestly about growing up, shedding the insecurities and becoming a very interesting, well-known person. She also relates the many jobs she's had. She sold knives door to door. She was a Dairy Queen manager. She helped with set construction. She was a server. She was a Walmart Barbie, among other things. And then her first real break in television came with the soap opera All My Children. She was on that first. Then later, as I mentioned, she was on Days of Our Lives for quite some time. I can't remember if they killed off her character or not, but so many people on that show have been killed off and they come back, so it's just like it's a revolving door. But this is not about Days of Our Lives. In the book, she mentions, about being a realtor, selling houses, luxury houses, and she's become a well-respected realtor. And this Selling Sunset is about that life. In the book, she talks about Under Construction, and she has like little tips. They're called construction tips, and they're slices of life. One of them, she says, if being an art model doesn't sound like a good way to make extra cash, don't do it. Do what you have to do, even if it's uncomfortable, boring, or embarrassing. But know when it's time to quit. Know your limits. And they're just, like I say, just like little slice of life. Bits and pieces of her world, of her experiences. Now, you're not going to get Shakespeare here. You're not going to get a book that's going to change your life, 100%. But it is a book where she talks about her hardships, her successes, and how she got to where she is today. So if you're looking for a book that's, autobiographical, she really doesn't talk, she doesn't slam her fellow actors or, slam the world in general. It's just an honest, open book. So this is very different. So Under Construction is a book that you should definitely consider adding to your collection. And the second book I'd like to draw to your attention is a most interesting one. It's called Lies My Mother Told Me, Tall Tales from a Short Woman by Melissa Rivers. This is published by Post Hill Press and it retails for $37. Most people would be familiar with the late Joan Rivers. She was a comedian, very popular. She died in 2016, and she left behind a very interesting legacy. In fact, a lot of comedians who came up in the comedy world were inspired by Joan Rivers. They were her role model, or their role model, and they modeled themselves after her style. Now, Joan Rivers was, she said what was on her mind. She said a lot of off-color things, a lot of very unpolitically correct things as well too, but she was respected. She hosted the Tonight Show many times, but she did have a falling out with Johnny Carson when she was given her own show, and he never forgave her for that. He thought she was a traitor, but that's not what the book is about. Melissa Rivers in the book talks about stories that her mother told her. Now, we're unsure really what Joan actually said and what Melissa has interpreted, or what Melissa said that her mother said that really wasn't said. So the book, let's just say, it's not for everybody. There are a lot of very, very, well, I don't know what the word is, low blows about people. She talks about the Pope and his hats. She talks about a lot of celebrities, dead celebrities, and she talks about Eva Braun, the former mistress of Adolf Hitler, as if she was on Facebook, and she's talking to Hermann Goering, and she mentioned hundreds of thousands of people who died, and let's just say it's not in the best of taste. She even talks about the Kennedy assassination. Now, I'm not going to talk about everything, but one of the things she mentioned is JFK gets shot in the head, blah 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 blah, and then there's the famous scene of Jackie climbing on the trunk of the moving car. The story told to the public is that Jackie is heroically trying to help a Secret Service man get into the car to help the president. Not true. The real story was that she was trying to get out of the car to find some club soda, because Jack's head has ruined her new pink $5,000 Chanel suit and matching pillbox hat. She didn't want to let the stain settle. Now, that is okay. Some people like that kind of humor. If so, go grab this book. I'd say the majority of people will find something offensive in the book. Heidi Abramowitz was a common character that Joan Rivers used in her comedy routine, that Heidi Abramowitz was such a slut, and she talks about the top 10 or 15 reasons why she was, and one of the things she said was fast. Her bedspread was a checkered flag. Okay, so anyways, there are some parts that you do have to laugh at, but there's some you're just going to groan and say, oh, that's sort of poor taste. But anyways, if you like this kind of humor, hey, it's your cup of tea. Go drink it. But so those are the two books I wanted to draw to your attention this week. Very different. CHRISHELL STAUSE and Melissa Rivers. So anyways, thank you for watching. Maybe you'll agree with me. Maybe you won't. Let me know. So until we meet again, thank you for your time. And as always, stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. Thanks again. See you real soon.